banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Minority leader says Honor Hochoy Charles' wish for autonomy. Businesswoman suggests Tobago Airport be the first port of call, and Duke clashes with presiding officer. Good evening to you, Tobago. I am Odiko O'Neill, and welcome to the Channel 5 News for today, Thursday, the 25th of September, 2025. There is a better way to honor Hochoy Charles, says Minority Leader Kelvin Morris. Like Tobagonians, he noted that he was proud of Hochoy Charles's contribution to Tobago, especially in his quest for autonomy, and called on the government to honor Charles's commitment to autonomy.
Mr. Charles was on record as saying he would not accept any national award until that issue of autonomy is resolved, and therefore I join with the rest of Tobago in calling on both the current Chief Secretary and the Prime Minister to ensure that the autonomy quest for Tobago is given urgent attention. It was both the Prime Minister, on the advice of the Chief Secretary, who derailed the last opportunity by voting and rejecting the last two autonomy bills.
Assemblyman Watson Duke, political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, also weighed in.
Insofar as his life and his legacy has left an indelible mark on Tobago, and we in Tobago can't forget the strides he made, the sacrifices he made to his personal self, his family, to push Tobago forward. It is something to be remembered and documented and put in books so up-and-coming students can learn about him, lest his history and what he stood for are forgotten.
Duke says the torch of autonomy has passed on to a new generation, and the people of Tobago would determine who they would gift to carry it on. Hochoy Charles's son, Mboya Charles, accepted the award posthumously for his late father on his behalf at the National Awards ceremony at Queen's Hall on September 25th. And former Chief Secretary Hochoy Charles was posthumously honored with the nation's highest award, the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, ORTT. So we asked some shoppers in Portmore for their thoughts.
He deserved it. He was one of the advocates in the early days.
I believe they should have given him when he was alive, not when he's dead. Right? So it don't make no sense to really give him when he's dead. Always a good thing, but they should have done that when he was alive.
I would like to say Hochoy Charles is past tense. All right, he doesn't exist in life, and awarding somebody that is not alive is just for the audience or the public attention. Basically, it wouldn't really benefit the dead. All right, but it will show some significance on behalf of the person's past tense and whatever recognition they hold.
I think he really meant well for Tobago. He had some ideas. A lot of people didn't get to that level. He was at a high level. I think he did Tobago very well, and I think they should do more than an award for him.
I know Hochoy was a good man. He's a very good man. I was my good friend too. Yeah. And he was doing well for the country.
He's a good person. He's a man who do plenty for the country. So, you know, he's a man who's do work for the country now. You will let her get jacket.
Hochoi Charles served as the first Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly from 1996 to 2001 and remained an advocate for Tobago's autonomy until his death in December 2023. Chairman of the Tobago Council of the People's National Movement, Ansel Dennis, has joined the voice to the growing number of, he joined his voice to the growing number of voices calling on Trinidad and Tobago to ease the tension between TNT and Venezuela through diplomacy.
I call on the government of Trinidad and Tobago to step back from this dangerous path. Tobago must be protected. Trinidad must be protected. The long-standing peace within our region must be preserved. We must work together with our CARICOM partners to calm tensions, open dialogue with our valued partners in Washington and Caracas, and make it clear that our country, and especially our island, will never be used as a staging ground for war.
Dennis called for the Tobago to remain neutral in the TNT Venezuela matter.
As Tobagonians, our duty is to protect Tobago's peace, safeguard our sovereignty, and secure the future of our children. History will not remember those who shouted the loudest in anger. It will remember those who have the courage and wisdom to prevent bloodshed, who protected the livelihoods and dreams of our people, and who defended our island and our country. Let us choose diplomacy over destruction. Let us recommit to the principle that we are friends of all, satellites of none.
Last month, the United States began building up its naval presence in southern Caribbean and nearby waters with the stated aim to combat drug trafficking, targeting Venezuela drug traffickers. It was struck or has struck 3 Venezuelan boats, killing occupants. Trinidad and Tobago's government said it supports the U.S. position to get rid of the drug traffickers. Still to come, should Tobago's airport be the first port of call? A business owner raises the question next.
Vodel Supermart and Pharmacy. Almost everything, almost anything, almost anytime, almost every day. We in every season for every reason. Vodel Supermart and Pharmacy. Almost everything you want from a pharmacy. Just ask our pharmacist. Well, almost. We are here to serve all of you all of the time. Vodel Supermart and Pharmacy. 141 Chauvin Road, Buku. Call our pharmacy on 610-7634 or our supermart on 768-0723 and 766-0476. Vodel Supermart and Pharmacy.
For 10 years, Pulse 89.5 FM has been the beat that moves Tobago. From the latest hits to the voices of the community, we bring the island's rhythm to life. Every day, every hour. Stay locked to Pulse 89.5 FM, the beat of Tobago. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram and stream us worldwide on the TuneIn app.
Escape to elegance at Le Chateau Suites Tobago. Gated privacy, breathtaking villas, unforgettable memories, where Caribbean dreams become reality.
The government should consider making the A.N.R. Robinson International Airport the first port of call for many international flights, even if it operates at times specific in the year. This can solve the problem many international travelers face when their flights land in Trinidad and they have difficulty getting a connecting flight to Tobago. This suggestion comes from President of the Bed and Breakfast and Self-Serving Association, Kay Trotman, when she spoke on today's Rise and Shine morning show here on Tobago Channel 5.
I personally don't see the airport as a Tobago airport.
Of course.
I see it as an airport of Trinidad and Tobago that can possibly change the flight arrangement into the country.
She explained her position further.
I know the entrance into Trinidad and Tobago has always been Piarco as the first touchdown, but maybe they need to consider, can it be in Tobago as the first entrance point into Trinidad and Tobago, and then flights go on to Trinidad? Maybe that option would help ease that inter-island air bridge issues we have been having with flights like that international flights enter the country.
The businesswoman said she understands there is a cost factor to landing international flights in Tobago and is hoping that would be worked out soon. Meanwhile, Kate Trotman was asked about bed and breakfast bookings for the upcoming Tobago October Carnival, which is a month away.
Well, right now for the association, most people seem to be almost fully booked. We do have properties with a few rooms, but most people seem to be booked. We are still getting inquiries.
She said many of the guests were having trouble getting their vehicles on the ferry.
I know earlier we had the issue of people, at least our Trinidad visitors, wanting to come to Tobago with their vehicle, and they were having challenges securing ticket on the ferry. I think most of them are still waiting. Some are still waiting because likely closer to the time they may make more tickets available for sailing to Tobago.
The Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago has scheduled 7 additional sailings for the October Carnival, which runs from October 24th to the 26th. However, tickets for both the regular and additional sailings were sold out on the first day of issuance. Have you ever wondered what world-renowned Tobagonian chef Arthur Patrick means when he says there is no secret sauce in cooking? Well, he gave the secret away when he appeared on today's Rise and Shine morning show.
Well, for me that means that there's no shortcuts in doing anything. In the culinary world, well, making a sauce is very complex, you know? Mm-hmm. So you have to take your time, you have to add the ingredients, stove has to be low, and it takes time to, whisk and get it to the consistency you want it to, right? So I see it as the same way in life. For anything you want to do, if you want to be successful, you always have to put your best foot forward and take your time and put all the puzzle pieces together to accomplish what needs to be accomplished.
Chef P, who has his own business and lectures at the Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, says it was his mother who inspired him to get into the culinary arts.
Well, to be honest, I didn't know I wanted to be a chef. I love food, but I didn't know I wanted to be a chef. My mom kind of directed me into the chefing world.
Patrick says he began washing dishes at the Blue Haven Hotel 17 years ago and has worked his way up to where he is today. To hear the full inspiring story, you can tune in to Rise and Shine's morning show on Tobago Channel 5's Facebook page. Well, Watson Duke is in a verbal clash with the presiding officer. That story when we come back.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
There are some new developments in housing in Tobago, so it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Assemblyman Watson Duke was cautioned on several occasions during the sitting of the Tobago House of Assembly by Presiding Officer Abby Taylor. Duke asked on several occasions whether Councillor Tashia Boris was still the Secretary of the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation. The back and forth continued with the Presiding Officer insisting that Duke ask a follow-up question related to his substantive question, but he viewed that as an insult.
Have you visited Tobago Channel 5's Facebook or Instagram pages lately? Well, check them out now for all the interviews and up-to-date news. Remember to like, share and follow for Tobago news and current affairs information at your fingertips.
Rise and shine in the morning is just part of my day.
From 6:30 to 8:30 every day. Foreign man says so.
It informs me of what happens in Tobago.
I find it to be so informative. Every aspect of Tobago affairs is being discussed there. So I will continue to look at Rise and Shine. That's my thing.
Monday to Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m.
I love Rise and Shine.
Have you visited Tobago Channel 5's Facebook or Instagram pages lately? Well, check them out now for all the interviews and up-to-date news. Remember to like, share and follow for Tobago news and current affairs information at your fingertips.
Rise and shine in the morning is just part of my day.
From 6:30 to 8:30 every day. Foreign man says so.
It informs me of what happens in Tobago.
I find it to be so informative. Every aspect of Tobago affairs is being discussed there. So I will continue to look at Rise and Shine. That's my thing.
Monday to Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m.
I love Rise and Shine.
Welcome back. We return to our story now. Assemblyman Watson Duke was cautioned on several occasions During the sitting of the Tobago House of Assembly by presiding officer of the House, Abby Taylor, Dukes asked on several occasions whether Councillor Tashia Boris was still the Secretary of the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation. The back and forth continued with the presiding officer insisting that Duke ask a follow-up question related to his substantive question, but he viewed it as an insult. The session continued for several minutes. Eventually, Duke addressed Councillor Boris with a question about vendors' means of requesting compensation after the changes made to the carnival calendar in March. Councillor Boris answered that she had not received a request for compensation, but advised that the mailbox for the division is open and that of the Tobago Festivals Commission Limited for such a request. Today, September the 25th, marks Trinidad and Tobago's first Prime Minister and founder of the People's National Movement's 114th birth anniversary. According to Parliament, Dr. Williams is TNT's first Prime Minister of an independent Trinidad and Tobago. He was born in Port of Spain, Trinidad on September 25, 1911, and is the eldest son of 12 children to Henry and Eliza Williams. While attending the Tranquility Boys Intermediate, he won a college exhibition in June 1922 at the age of 11 and later attended Queen's Royal College. He won the Ireland Scholarship, leaving Trinidad to study history at Oxford University, graduating 3 years later at the top of his class and awarded a first-class honors degree for his efforts. He attained his doctorate in 1938. Dr. Williams, who is fondly called the father of the nation, died in 1981. Well, the opposition People's National Movement claims the United National Congress is undermining democracy through its interpretation of Parliament's standing orders. The PNM's chief whip and member of Parliament for Aruca Lupino, Marvin Gonzalez, made the claims at the opposition's press conference today. He reminded that the opposition's role is to hold the government accountable in a functionable democracy. Gonzalez said the 2012-2013 standing orders were introduced to give the opposition the chance to ask the PM questions relating to governance. He said since it was introduced, all prime ministers have been asked supplemental questions relating to the original questions. However, he said things have changed.
Unfortunately, last week we observed that the opposition was unfortunately denied the opportunity to ask supplementary questions of the Prime Minister based on a ruling. We were taken by surprise because the answers provided by the Honorable Prime Minister warranted and demanded further scrutiny and examination by the elected opposition. And unfortunately, the opposition was denied the opportunity based on the Speaker's understanding, as he ruled, of the standing orders.
He said some of the issues the opposition wanted to raise were not allowed by the House Speaker. The PNM's chief whip read some of those questions.
The Member of Parliament for Arima, the Honourable Opposition Leader, asked the following question. With respect to the reported threats made against cabinet ministers, can the Prime Minister state what official reports, if any, have been lodged with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service? Not approved. Member of Parliament for Arima, the Honourable Penny Beckles, Leader of the Opposition. Next question. Can the Prime Minister state how many footballers have been targeted for national team selection pending proclamation of the recently passed Constitutional Amendment Bill ahead of the October the 14th match versus Curaçao? Not allowed.
The MP read more questions that were not allowed by the House Speaker.
Member of Parliament for Arima. In light of the increased diplomatic tensions between Trinidad and Tobago and Venezuela, which affect national security and regional stability, Could the Prime Minister state what steps are being taken by the Prime Minister to de-escalate the situation? And you can perhaps check to see whether or not those questions were asked in the Parliament. The Leader of the Opposition again, does the government of Trinidad and Tobago recognize Nicolas Maduro as the president of Venezuela?
And Gonzalez was asked about the opposition's next move to address the standing order issue relating to asking supplemental questions during the Prime Minister's question and answer segment.
We have, as you alluded to a short while ago, the Standing Orders Committee, and if we have observed any lacuna in the standing orders that cannot otherwise be resolved, then perhaps we may have to resort to the Standing Orders Committee. But you also have to be mindful, Rhea, that the government holds the majority.
Right.
And the Standing Orders Committee and the government may have its way.
But that's why
He was also asked whether the opposition will resort to the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, the CPA, to resolve the matter.
We will pursue all avenues and measures that will be available to us to resolve this issue. But the opposition, our position is that the Prime Minister's question on the agenda of the Parliament must be preserved in such a way that the citizens can understand critical issues that the people are very interested in and want to hear directly from the Prime Minister's stance on these matters when they are posed legitimately by the opposition.
According to the CPA's website, as an organization, it seeks to have open and wide-ranging understanding of parliamentary democracy that considers the peculiarities of the national context of its members. The association also said it takes a non-partisan, non-perspective, and non-intrusive approach to addressing those issues. We'll come back with your weather forecast next.
Have you visited Tobago Channel 5's Facebook or Instagram pages lately? Well, check them out now for all the interviews and up-to-date news. Remember to like, share and follow for Tobago news and current affairs information at your fingertips.
Tonight will be mostly fair with a gentle breeze despite the odd brisk shower. Tomorrow, predominantly hot, sunny and at times breezy despite the low chance of 1 or 2 passing showers. Overnight will be mostly fair and hazy. Seas slight, occasionally moderate. Winds east-northeast to southeast 5 to 35 kilometers per hour. Waves in open water 1 to 1.5 meters, in sheltered areas below 1 meter. High tides is at 6:14 a.m. and 5:48 p.m. Low tide is at 11:42. Sunrise is at 5:51 and sunset is at 5:56. Tomorrow's temperatures should reach a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius and fall to 27 degrees. Before we go, let's recap tonight's headlines. Minority Leader says honor Ho-Choi Charles' wish for autonomy. Businesswoman suggests Tobago Airport be the first port of call, and Duke clashes with presiding officer. Now please stay tuned with us here at 8 p.m. for the first installation of the series entitled Before the Ballot, Assembly Town Hall. Tonight on the spot will be Assemblyman for Scarborough Mount Grace, Trevor James. He presently holds the post of Secretary of the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development. Have a good night. Do stay safe.